You can have the best strategy in the world, perfect entries, perfect exits, and still blow your entire account in 2 weeks. I've seen it happen. A lot. The uncomfortable truth is that most traders don't fail because of bad strategies. They fail because they have absolutely no idea how to manage risk. And today that changes for you. In this video, I'm going to walk you through the exact risk management framework that separates the 5% of traders who actually make money from the 95% who don't. No fluff, no theory, just the rules that keep your account alive long enough to actually get good. Let's get into it. Let me ask you something. If you had a $100 bill and someone told you to bet it all on a coin flip, would you do it? Probably not. But that's exactly what most beginner traders do, just without realizing it. The number one rule in professional risk management is this: never risk more than 1 to 2% of your total account on a single trade. That's it. That's the rule. So if you have a $1,000 account, you should never lose more than $10 to $20 on any single trade. Now I know what you're thinking. That sounds tiny. That sounds boring. But here's what that actually means in practice. If you risk 2% per trade and you go on a 10-trade losing streak, which will happen to every trader at some point, you've only lost around 18% of your account. You're still in the game. But if you're risking 10% per trade, that same losing streak wipes out 65% of your money. The 1 to 2% rule isn't about being timid. It's about staying alive long enough to let your edge work. Write that down. Okay, so now you know how much to risk. But here's where most beginners miss it completely. It's not just about how much you risk. It's about what you get back when you're right. This is called your risk to reward ratio, and it's one of the most powerful concepts in trading. Let me show you with a simple example. Say you risk $20 on a trade. If your target is only $20 profit, that's a 1-to-1 ratio. Now here's the problem with that. If you win 50% of your trades at 1-to-1, you break even. You make nothing. All that stress, all that screen time for zero. But if you risk $20 and your target is $60 profit, that's a 1-to-3 ratio. Now listen carefully. At a 1-to-3 risk to reward ratio, you only need to be right 34% of the time to be profitable. 34%. That means you can be wrong on 6 out of 10 trades and still make money. This is why professionals obsess over risk to reward. Not because they're always right. Nobody is always right. But because they make sure when they are right, it pays. A good minimum to aim for is 1-to-2. Ideally 1-to-3 or better. If a trade setup doesn't offer at least 1-to-2 risk to reward, skip it. Let the bad trades go. The market will always give you another one. Right, so we know the 1-to-2% rule. We know about risk to reward. Now the question is, how do you actually calculate the right position size before you enter a trade? This is where most beginners just guess, and guessing gets you killed. Here's the simple formula. Step 1. Take your account balance and multiply it by your risk percentage. So if your account is $1,000 and you're risking 2%, that's $20 maximum loss on this trade. Step 2. Look at your chart and find where your stop loss goes. Calculate the distance in pips from your entry to that stop loss. Let's say your stop loss is 20 pips away. Step 3. Divide your maximum dollar risk by the pip value times the number of pips. For a standard lot, 1 pip on EUR/USD is roughly $10. For a mini lot, it's $1. For a micro lot, it's 10 cents. So in our example, $20 maximum risk divided by 20 pips. That means we can afford 10 cents per pip, which is 1 micro lot. Now you might be thinking, that's a tiny position. Good. Small positions when you're learning means small mistakes. And small mistakes are how you stay in the game while you develop your skill. There are free position sizing calculators online. I'll drop a link in the description. Use one every single time before you enter a trade. No exceptions. This is the part nobody wants to talk about, because it's not about numbers. It's about you. Here's the situation every trader faces at some point. You enter a trade. The market moves against you. Your stop loss is getting close. And then a voice in your head says, just wait. It'll come back. Give it more room. That voice has blown more trading accounts than any bad strategy ever has. Here's the psychological trap. When we're facing a loss, our brains don't want to accept it. We move the stop loss. We add to a losing position. We tell ourselves it's a long-term hold now. This is called loss aversion, and it is the silent killer of traders. The fix is simple, but it is not easy. Before you enter any trade, you decide exactly where you're wrong. You set the stop loss, and you do not touch it. Your stop loss is not a suggestion. It is a contract you make with yourself. The moment you start moving stop losses to avoid taking a loss, you're no longer trading. You're gambling. Accept the small loss. Protect the account. Move on to the next trade. That discipline, right there, is what separates amateurs from professionals. All right, last section, and this one is going to save you a lot of frustration. Have you ever placed a trade, set a tight stop loss, watch price hit it perfectly, and then immediately reverse in your original direction? Yeah, almost every trader has been there. This is what people call stop hunting. And while there is some debate about whether big institutions deliberately target retail stop losses, what we do know is this. Most beginner traders put their stop losses in the most obvious places, just below support, just above resistance, right at a round number. And those are exactly the areas price will often spike into before continuing. So here's how to set smarter stop losses. Rule 1, don't place your stop at a support or resistance level. Place it beyond it with a small buffer. If support is at 1.2000, put your stop at 1.1980. Give it room to breathe. Rule 2, base your stop on market structure, not on how much money you want to risk. Your stop goes where the trade idea is invalidated, not where it's convenient for your wallet. Rule 3, avoid round numbers. Price is attracted to round numbers like a magnet. If everyone's stop is at 1.2000, price will often touch it. Put yours at 1.1975 instead. And rule 4, on higher time frames, give your stops more room. A 15-minute chart has much tighter structure than a 4-hour chart. Adjust accordingly. These 4 rules alone will dramatically reduce the number of times you get stopped out, only to watch the market go exactly where you thought it would. So let's bring it all together. Risk management is not a restriction, it is your edge. The 1 to 2% rule keeps you in the game. Risk to reward makes sure your winners outweigh your losers. Proper position sizing removes the emotion from every trade. Cutting losses fast protects your capital. And smarter stop placement means you stop getting shaken out of good trades. Do all of these things and you are already ahead of 95% of people trading right now. If you want to go even deeper, the next video is going to walk you through building your first complete trading plan, the actual document I use to stay disciplined and consistent every single session. Drop your current risk to reward ratio in the comments below. I read every single one, and I'll give you my honest feedback. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next one.